Last year we played a gig.
We did.
On the back of Carl Stoerzinger's Cargotrike. Last year we fit our kit on the Cargotrike by affixing 2 boards together on the outside of a snare and putting a piece of threaded rod between them and then just pressing them together hard enough that it would keep the snare in place, and then screwing a board on the bottom so that the pedal could clip to it properly. So it ends up being this completely self-contained, completely usable kick drum. And while that's all great, it's limiting, and it's still not like the right tone, which is still fun, but it's not perfect. So this year I wanted to do a floor tom where I could hit the top of it still, but use the pedal to accentuate the bottom, so that both technically the batter head and the resonant head were both batter heads.
So it's like doing double duty.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually found out that it's super easy to do it with this. You just have to take apart a couple of these bits and rearrange them in order for it to work. So I'm just going to do that really quick. It's fun because it's almost like a little infomercial. So first thing that you do is you got to take this little beast off. There's an axle that runs through here that is just taken off with this one little lock nut. For this one, it's a 13mm socket. That comes off really quickly, and then this little thing will just push through. There's a bearing that keeps this in there, so you just set that aside for later. And then you'll take a 4mm and just dial back out these little set screws. They're real small, and they don't need to be torqued down too much. All they do is just keep this and this in line and keep this from moving side to side. So now that these are loosened up, you can pull this out a little bit more, and that's out.
Cool.
So the other part is that with the cam, it moves like this. When you push it down, it moves things that way. What we want it to do is we want it to move the other way when pushed down, so that it's pushing stuff upward instead of pushing stuff outward.
Yep.
So there's just a little Phillips head on this side. Just dial that guy out. And with that out, all we have to do is just flip it over. It won't, it won't fit perfectly, but it fits just enough so that it will hold it. This isn't a long-term solution, this is just for like a day. So you can dial that thing in there, and it'll hold in place. So now it should push stuff upward.
Cool.
Put this thing back through here, and we'll just reassemble this, but with it going the other way. So we'll want it to have a little bit of give when it kicks so that it has to spring backwards. This might be a good amount for it. When you hit it, it will bounce backwards and then go back down. If you put it too high up, like that, it'll just rest up against the drum itself, and it won't ever bounce back. So you push it down just a little bit so that it moves upwards and downwards, keeps this spring going, and then move the cam, lace that boy up, and set that up so that it will, in the right position. That seems pretty good. And then line that bearing back up on the other side, and line it up on this side. Put the lock nut back on. And then you just line up, tighten those back down just a little bit. And that should do it. So let's see how well it works. Okay. So. Perfect. And so now I should be able to hit on the top, and also use the bottom.